Greetings, everyone, and a warm welcome to another special edition. We're breaking the mold today, a special edition of Marketing the Invisible, joined today by Wendy Weiss. Wendy, warm g'day from down under. Welcome back. I think this is your third and record-breaking appearance on NTI. How are you doing?
I am fabulous. Happy to be back.
And you're calling in from the Big Apple, is that right?
I am. I'm in New York City.
Big Apple to the small forest, hands across the water, all that from New York to Wyber Downs in Queensland, Australia on the Sunshine Coast. Folks, Wendy is a specialist, and we've known each other for years. We've effectively been clients of each other and learnt from each other. We've done interviews together, and so I know her stuff pretty well. She's the creator of the Salesology Prospecting Method. So she's the one you turn to when you need to get some sales and you don't have any prospects. So it's all about, ultimately, it's about generating predictable sales revenue results. And very often Wendy gets called into teams of salespeople to figure out why they're not converting what appears to be reasonable leads. And other times she gets called in to actually help with the prospecting themselves. She's helped, in fact, 775 businesses at last counts increase qualified appointments, get sales faster and more easily. And in today's subject, enjoy the process a whole lot more. She's a former ballet dancer. She believes everything she knows in life and business she has learned in a ballet class. Fantastic. So, Wendy, our subject today, how to quit procrastinating, get your sales calls actually done, and enjoy the process. So we're going to see if we can get through this in 7 minutes. And I'm talking about breaking the mold, breaking the template, folks, because I'm not using my normal 7 questions in 7 minutes. I've got 3 questions, and we're going to start now. 7 minutes, timer, go.
Let's go.
Question number 1. What's the number one thing that business owners and entrepreneurs can do to increase sales? I am all ears.
Okay, the number one thing that business owners and entrepreneurs can do to increase sales is to take action. Perfection is the enemy of selling. Good enough is good enough.
Right.
Your website doesn't have to be perfect. Your webinar doesn't have to be perfect. Your sales conversations don't have to be perfect. You just have to do it. And the more you do it, the easier it gets, the better it gets. And it is so lovely to hear people say yes.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? Music to your ears. It's actually very true. Dan Kennedy used to have a saying, good enough is good enough. And, in other words, just get started. Don't wait for perfection, because I know myself, it's very easy to delay the launch, to delay facing rejection by messing around with a product or a service or a website or a landing page or whatever else, and when in fact nothing happens until action is taken. So
absolutely. And let me interject one thing, because I am a ballet dancer. That was my original training, and we are all about being perfect. But at some point, the curtain goes up and you have to dance.
Ready or not.
It is ready or not, curtain goes up, time to dance.
At some point, the curtain goes up and you have to dance. So let's talk about that curtain going up, because in sales, it's the moment before the call, isn't it? It's very often it's that I've seen it time and time again that people fail to take action simply because of the fear of rejection. So how do you coach or train or cajole business owners, entrepreneurs to overcome that fear of rejection so they can take the action? And a lot of people have fear of selling as well, or fear of being seen as a salesperson. So how do you get people past that fear?
That is a great question, because that can be paralyzing. And to me, this is so much like stage fright. And I have been there. You're waiting in the wings, you're waiting for your music, your heart's pounding, you think you were going to throw up. And then you hear your music and you get out on stage and dance. Well, what enables you to do that? What enables you to do that is you're prepared. You've been rehearsing for months. You have automatic muscle memory. You get out on stage and you dance. And there's this myth of the born salesperson that somehow there are these people out there, they're just born knowing what to do. That's a myth. It's not true. I'm not a born salesperson. I'm a lucky person. Somebody I got a day job many years ago. They taught me how to do this. And so the really good news for any of you that are really nervous, it's a communication skill. It can be learned and it can be improved on.
And practicing it. So we talk in the good old days when I was running sales teams and so on about a sales track. So to give people a phone script, to practice it, to rehearse it, to drill it, so that when you picked up the phone, you were more confident, albeit you might have still had some butterflies, but you knew it was going to happen. And we used to get people to practice that 21 times, not flawlessly, but to do it 21 times. So it was, picked up the phone, it's kind of like the curtain went up and you were on stage and you were on. And so that's, as you said, muscle memory or brain memory kicks in. You've got kind of a sales track. Well, you have a method. There's 3 steps in it, as far as from what I can recall. And can you walk us through the 3 steps? Because I think that's the track that people are going to be looking for.
Absolutely. The 3-step Salesology method. What I learned in ballet class. Step 1. If you're a ballet dancer, you don't just run out on stage and start dancing. You have to warm up so that you don't have a career-ending injury. There are things as a business owner you need to have in place for yourself. If you manage a sales team, you need to have it in place for them so that they don't hurt you or you don't hurt yourself, you don't hurt your bottom line. Step 1, warm up. Step 2, if you're a ballet dancer, you don't run out on stage and start dancing. You've been rehearsing for months. So you have automatic muscle memory. You need to practice. That's what elite athletes do. That's what successful business people do. They practice. That's how they get good at what they're doing. So you need to practice. Step 1 is warm up. Step 2, rehearse. Step 3, then and only then is it time to perform. And what enables performance? You've warmed up. You are prepared. You've rehearsed. You have automatic muscle memory. You've practiced. That's what enables performance. And yeah, you might be a little bit nervous, but what I've seen in all the years I've been doing this is that for most people, once they have a simple system and they know what they are doing every step along the path, it is possible and easy to execute. And then when people start saying yes to you, it becomes fun and it becomes easier and easier to execute.
Right. Because winning is fun. I mean, if you've practiced the method that gets you more yeses, then you're going to enjoy the process, right? I mean, I always remember Rick doing triathlon training and swimming in the same pool as Rick Wells, who just won the world championship. And we got talking afterwards, and I said, Rick, how many hours training do you do a week? He said, about 30. I said, oh my God, I had a full-time job. He was a professional athlete. I said, that's just a ball breaker. That's just incredible. And I still remember him sort of looking sideways and looking up and then turning back to me and saying, it's not so bad if you're winning.
It's not so bad if you're winning. Why do we dance? What's the best part?
The
Curtain
applause.
call.
Right.
Curtain call. Applause.
Curtain call.
Yes.
Yeah. So then that curtain call and the applause is the yes. Beautiful. Wendy, where can people go to learn more about what you do? I've got a link here, folks. It's going to be under the video because you've got something pretty special coming up. Let me give you people your website as well, in case they're listening to this in a year or two's time. Go Salesology.com. Go Salesology.com. What have you got coming up that's special?
Wow, what we have coming up is very special. I've learned in all the years I've been doing this, and we talked about it a little bit, Tom. One of the hardest things for people to do is to take action.
Yeah.
So I've decided to give business owners, entrepreneurs, consultants, solopreneurs some space and some time and some coaching to actually take action. It's called Sales Quest Live. It's happening. It's a virtual event, 2-day event, January 24th and 25th. And it's an experiential event. You will finish with appointments, a pipeline, perhaps even some closed sales. So I invite you to join me for Salesology, for Sales Quest Live in January. And if you're listening to this podcast after January 25th, 2024, you'll get information about our next exciting event.
Perfect. So, folks, there's a link under the video. If you are watching, listening to this, I should say, on iTunes or Stitcher, go to leadsology.guru, find our podcast page, and scroll down, and you'll see this interview, and the link will be under that. Wendy, break a leg, as they say. Thanks for joining me.
We don't say that to dancers.
You don't say it to dancers. It's probably a good idea. What do you say?
Merde. M-E-R-D-E. It means
Merde.
shit.
That sounds French. What does that mean?
It's French. It means shit. Don't ask me why we say that, but that's what we say to wish each other luck.
All right. Great to have you back. Thanks, Wendy.
Thanks, Tom. Bye.
Cheers. Thanks for checking out our Marketing the Invisible podcast. If you like what we're doing here, please head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review. It's very much appreciated. And if you want to generate 5 fresh leads in just 5 hours, then check out www.5hourchallenge.com.